What's up, guys? Hope you're all good. Saturday morning. What time is it? 8 a.m. Down with Mikey Boy. And we're about to do a bit of a Hyrox, should we say? Mikey's been doing Hyrox for a little while now, and he's really getting into it. He's doing incredibly well. So yeah, what have you recently been doing with Hyrox? Your training and stuff?
Yeah, so I did my first Hyrox back in Hong Kong in July. That was my first one. Mm-hmm. Actually went into it without a bit of an injury with a hamstring, so I wasn't quite sure if I was even going to compete. So I was buzzing I could just get it done, completed. Mm-hmm. And then I think for anyone who's done Hyrox before, like after your first one, you're buzzing. You just want to be like, okay, when's my next? What can I improve? You know what you want to improve on. So straight after, I was like, okay, let's get a next one, but got perfect. Then smashed that PB by 4 minutes. You know, did open weight, but you know, almost getting down to that sort of that 1 hour mark. But I'm a newbie in the sport, but I've got the bug, man. So yeah, I'm really keen to push on the next 6 months to a year.
Are you doing it a few days a week? How much Hyrox style training you're doing? Is it purely Hyrox focused at the minute?
So if you really want to get good at a sport, you've got to work on obviously the different elements of the sport, the strength side of things. You've got to work on the running. You've got to work on the compromised running, these sort of Hyrox sessions where you're training on heavy legs. So you can't necessarily just train Hyrox sort of session throughout the week because you're not really going to improve. So you need to work on the specifics, you know, the running, the strength side of things, especially if you want to, you know, get to sort of the pro weight sort of levels where the weight's a lot heavier and you can't just rely on the running. So yeah, you've got to work on the different aspects of it. Just a bit like running. If you want to work on running, you can't just run. You've got to get in the gym, work on your strength, work on the mobility. So
yeah, just a little insight, guys. There's so many different ways to train, and especially with fatigue and that load and recovery, volume. It's very meticulous. You have to get it right. We trained last week here, and we did some really heavy Bulgarian split squats on the Smith machine, and we were hitting 6 reps. 6 reps is a hell of a lot easier than 12 reps. The DOMs are completely different. You don't really get the sort of DOMs that you would if you go higher reps. But higher reps, I think, for me, is going to build more muscle mass and fullness to the muscle and that shape. With lower reps, you're focusing on strength, and also you will recover better if you're not going too high reps, I would say. So we did a session last week, and we were going for 6 reps. And then I was like more inclined to try and go up the reps because I'm just usually training bodybuilding style. The DOMs are just completely different. So with him, he has to save himself. He can't go in there and do really high reps with the strength training because it's just not going to work. He's not looking to put on size. He's looking to get stronger. There's a difference between putting on the muscle mass and putting on strength. And then you hear people talk about, oh yeah, but if I get stronger, am I gaining muscle? Depends on rep ranges, guys. Honestly, it really does. There's a lot of bullshit out there. I know when I do strength training, I'm not going to get bigger. I'm really not. I'm going to be honest, lose size. I might be stronger, but I'll lose size. There's the different styles of training, guys. So yeah, just tell us a little bit about that. Give the guys an insight into like fatigue and managing that and not going too hard in the strength sessions and making sure you're pulling back to then actually make progress. For me, I can come in here and I'll get bigger, but I might not get stronger because I'm going so fucking hard that the next time I train, I'm probably still not going to be recovered. I need probably about 10 days to recover sometimes from leg day.
Exactly that. Yeah, exactly what you said. It's about what's your goal? You know, is your goal to get bigger, or is your goal to get stronger? Is your goal to get faster? And that's 2 different, obviously, styles of training. You know, with Hyrox specific, the goal essentially is to get stronger, but you don't necessarily want to get bigger because if you're running, the lighter you are, the less energy you're going to use. So for me personally, at the minute, it's about getting stronger, but not necessarily getting bigger because, you know, in sports of, you know, like sort of running, the right sort of Hyrox, the lighter you are, but the stronger you can be, the better, because the more efficient you're going to be on the running. So exactly like you explained about the rep ranges, you know, you want to be working on those low rep ranges because yes, you're obviously going to get benefit from the high rep ranges, but it's going to hugely affect your training. You know, you're going to have DOMs, you're not going to be able to then train the next day. So that means less volume. Less volume means you're not going to get as good as the guy who's doing more volume. So it's, you know, yeah, it's really important understanding that, you know, what is your current goals? Are you training to get better at Hyrox? Are you trying to get better running, or are you trying to gain size? And it's very difficult to do two at once, you know.
Like, size in many sports is just not what you want. It's not. Having too much muscle mass is going to actually be a detriment to potentially your performance, the mobility, your flexibility, your speed, your agility. Of course, some sports, yeah, like rugby, American football, you still need to have that size. But for a lot of these sports guys, being strong and small and compact is fucking, that's where you want to be, really. I've lost literally like 10 kilos, and I'm on the treadmill, I'm like a different guy. I've literally not got a weight and vest on, and it feels so much better. But then other things, lifting a barbell, cleaning press, certain exercises, deadlifts, nowhere near strong. I've not got that edge as what I would do when I've got the weight behind me. But then again, if I was on the treadmill, I was doing running, I'd feel it. But then again, if I was heavier, I'd be better at rowing. So anyway, we're going to take you through it. What we're going to do today, bro.
Cool. So yeah, almost a sort of Hyrox simulation, but we're cutting down the running. We're going to be doing 500-meter run, trying to hold a 4-minute pace on that run. We're going into the ski. Got a couple of exercises that we don't have here, so we're just mixing things up. We're going to be doing some step-ups. So we're going to do some renegade rows, plate burpees, rower, lunges, farmer's carry, wall balls. So almost a full Hyrox sim, just cutting down the running and just changing a couple of exercises. So getting a feel for what Hyrox feels like, and going to push on the runs, man. So it's going to be tasty, and then pushing through the ice.
Yeah, man. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoy. Let's go. We did it! Over an hour. What time is that, Mikey?
fully flank base, 45 minutes, racing.
45 minutes and 30 seconds. Not too bad. Towards the end, I was hanging on there in the run, but then when I got on the wall balls, I banged out 50 reps. Felt pretty impressive. So yeah, let's speak to Mikey. All right, guys, workout complete. I fucking loved it. There was times throughout that where I thought, I feel like quitting. I wanted to quit, but then in my head I was like, you can't let this guy down. You can't. You're in this together till the end. Yeah, what do you tell yourself, bro, when you're in that pain cave, when you're doing the Hyrox?
Yeah, one thing I like to do is just give myself affirmations, you know, when that body's tired, legs are heavy, your lungs are blowing up, everything's saying fucking give up, but you've got to just talk to yourself, what I do anyway, it's affirmations like, you're fit, you're strong, fucking let's go, don't fucking give up. Just keep repeating those affirmations, I'm strong, I'm fit, I'm powerful, I'm strong, I'm fit, I'm powerful. Just shouting those affirmations in your head, and automatically that shouting that shit into existence, man, pushes you. You know, that's why people listen to motivation shit when they're running, right? Or, you know, on a treadmill or doing a workout, because it's that affirmations, I'm fit, I'm strong, don't fucking quit. You know, when the times are tough, you got to do something, because if you don't, you're going to fucking quit or give up, or pace is going to slow.
Yeah, I think when you're in it, you feel yourself having negative thoughts and talking to yourself, oh, fucking hell, yeah, you're going to quit. Oh, you're going to stop. You're going to finish last. You're going to let your teammates down. When you start to think like that, you've got to override that shit. Like, shut the fuck up. You are strong. You're a motherfucking beast. You got this shit, brother. In your head over and over again. You can't let this guy down. You're a winner. Success. Domination. Like, literally telling yourself stuff like that will have a positive effect, because all the negative thoughts are going to get overridden by the positive shit that is going to drive you forward. And if you continue to do that and you forget about it and you're in that positive flow, 9 times out of 10 you get into that flow state. You have that second wind.
Yeah.
Like we did at the end on the wall balls. And we were like, I got off there and I was like, oh my God, fuck this. You went first. I got on it. I was like,
you're good.
You know what? I'm nearly there.
Yeah.
Banged out 50. Probably could have done 100.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit. And then because I've not done that before, I can see why people get 100.
Yeah.
You can see, because you're nearly there.
Yeah.
And you just like,
Hate the finish line, man.
You go completely numb.
Yeah.
And you're just in the flow.
Yeah.
And you can't even think. The numbers, the counting down from whatever is just a blur.
Yeah.
It's just...
People fucking black out on the tool balls, man. Fuck it, too right. I heard of many people fucking black out on them, man. Wow. Just get into that flow state and you forget everything, and people end up almost blacking out. You know, you're at the finish line, yeah, man. Like, it's fucking, yeah. When you're at that finish line, that last little push, I mean, yeah, man, like you said there, pumping out 50 and you fucking could barely get up and do one, and just after that, right? It's mental, man. It just shows you what can happen, man.
So, yeah, what are you feeling with your workouts? Because you came here this morning early, 7:30. What did you eat before? If so, caffeine, carbs, what did you have?
Yeah, so I always try and start my day off with water and electrolytes. Important to get the hydration in, get the electrolytes in, get the salt in. Especially when you're over in places like this when it's hot and you're sweating constantly, so getting those electrolytes in. Always have a coffee. I like my caffeine. Some people can't train on caffeine, I can. Some caffeine, and then typically some dates. 4 or 5 dates, some sugar, some carbs. I'm good to go, man. Sometimes a piece of toast and jam if I'm doing something a bit more. I mean, if I could give myself a bit of time to let my stomach settle, I'll have some toast and jam. But yeah, nice and simple water, electrolytes, caffeine, some dates. Yeah.
Why is carbs so important, I think?
When you're fueling for performance, that extra little bit of carbs, like glycogen, I mean, you just need it, man. You just need that. I made a little post the other day about if you're fueling for performance or fueling for fat loss. If you're trying to lose weight, then you don't need that you don't need those carbs, you know. But if you're fueling for performance, that extra bit of carbs and sugar, again, it's hard to track, to know, right? It makes a difference, but for me anyway, it's just getting a little bit of carbs and sugars in does me good.
Yeah, for sure. I think the long endurance athletes, if you watch them, if you listen to what they eat, sugar, carbs, all the time. Like they have, to be honest, a lot of them dreadful diets, but it's not good for longevity. A lot of the stuff they eat, they could clean it up a little bit with certain types of foods, a little bit less processed. But for me, if I don't fuel up with carbs, it's a big difference. I'm a big guy, I've got lots of muscle, so I will feel a lag somewhat half an hour, 45 minutes through if I don't have carbs. So this morning I woke up, I had this protein bar, this natural one, dates, egg whites, oats, things like that. I had one of those and I had a piece of toast with jam on as well. A little bit of caffeine I had and then some water and I'm good to go, man.
Nice, man.
Yeah, but like guys, this heat is fucking no joke. Yeah, honestly. Like if we were in the sun then, that would have been fucked. We were just out of the sun because of the shade and the shadow. You can see it's just
Pools of sweat, man.
hydration, electrolytes, the salts, the carbs, the sugar. You need them. If you're not in shape, then get in shape first. Yeah. There is a difference though between looking physically fit and actually being fit. You get a lot of guys who are just absolute machines, but they carry a little bit of fat. Yeah. And that's fine. Absolutely fine. Would they perform better if they were shredded? It depends on how lean and what type of sport it is. For example, running, the less body fat you have and the lighter you are, that's always going to be a bonus. So it depends on your goal, guys. It completely depends on your goal. But if you are out of shape right now and you're thinking, oh, I need sugars and carbs before I train, like, dude, if you're 20% body fat, let's just leave that for now. Unless you're a certain type of sport you do, then that's okay. But if you're trying to get really lean and in shape, I would try and pull back on the carbs as much as possible. Get shredded first in the fastest time, and then from there, start to increase calories and carbs. But yeah, man, really thoroughly enjoyed it. You can see literally, there's a puddle of sweat. Look at that, man. That is a puddle of sweat, man. That's sweat equity. But yeah, if any of you guys are interested in working with Mikey, we know what we're doing. Best in the business. Strong team of elite level coaches who actually give a fuck. Yeah. We get the results. You pay for it. We'll hold you accountable. Read the reviews. I challenge you to go out there, Reddit, Google reviews, look at our transformations, our testimonials, because you will realize that in comparison to how many people we've worked with, there's a small 1-2% of people who don't flourish and actually give us a good review from it. And if you compare other coaching companies, it's a completely different story. And we know what to do, and we have the blueprint for you guys to facilitate the result and achieve what you want. So yeah, whether it's Hyrox, bodybuilding, CrossFit, endurance, we got you fucking back. Marathon training, Mikey did a sub 3 hour marathon. How many marathons did you do before that?
That's the first one, yeah. First one. Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
People, if you know, that's a good fucking time for your first marathon. Anyway, Mikey, lots of love, brother. Really enjoyed that. See you later, guys. Peace.